Good morning, children. This is Mrs. Anjum Aleem from Springfields, Masabtank, biology teacher for class 10th. In my last video, I have covered internal structure of heart, circulation of blood, cardiac cycle, single circulation and double circulation. Today we are going to talk about the lymphatic system and many other things. What is lymphatic system? The lymphatic system is responsible for the production, transport and filtration of lymph fluid throughout the body. In addition to its important circulatory functions, the lymphatic system has also important immunological functions. Now, what is lymph? Lymph is similar to blood without the solid particles. Lymph is a substance that contains blood without solid particles. It is known as tissue fluid. It is present in tissues. It is the vital link between blood and tissues by which essential substances pass from blood to cells and excretory products from cells to blood. So it is helping in the exchange. Lymphatic system is parallel to venous system, which collects tissues fluid and transport it to the venous system. Now if we see in this slide, you can observe green dots. These green dots represents the lymph nodes. Lymph nodes are the places where the lymph is collected. Now as the dead cells and the unwanted tissues, whatever are there, they are collected by the lymph and they travel through the lymph vessels and are stored in the lymph nodes. And from the lymph nodes, they will further go to the subclavian vein in the shoulder, from where it is actually going into the blood, transporting to the blood. So it is something like cleaning system. Lymphatic system is like for cleaning blood. Now we have also talked about lymph. Lymph is similar to blood but without the solid particles. What is edema? The swelling of lower part of the body is called as edema. You must have observed old people or sometimes even youngsters when they are traveling in bus or train and they are sitting for a long time with their legs down without any activity, then their legs become swollen. It occurs due to inactivity of any organ. If there is no activity and sitting in the same position, the fluid retention develops after the fluid flows down into the lower part of the body, causing the swelling. So mostly this question is asked in the exam, where they ask what should the people do when they have edema. You can write they should perform some exercises, they should take rest, and they can lie down in a position such that the legs are raised at a higher height. Now we will see the evolution of the circulatory system. That is, how did the heart come into existence, four-chambered heart. For that we have to start with amoeba, which is a unicellular organism. The natural movements of protoplasm, called the Brownian movement, causes the transportation of the materials in the amoeba. Brownian movements causes the transportation, circulation in amoeba. In sponges, there are flagella are present, which are thread-like structures, which are locomotory organs. So the beating of flagella causes the transportation, that is circulation. In cnidarians, for example Hydra, gastrovascular cavity, that is not a true body cavity but cavity is present, which is called gastrovascular cavity. They are actually, the body is 3-layered, triploblastic. So the water enters and leaves the body cavity, wherein the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place and the circulation also takes place. In platyhelminthes, that is the flatworms, digestive system helps in transportation. And in nemathyhelminthes, pseudocoelom helps in circulation. Pseudo is false and coelom is cavity, which helps in circulation. and for the first time the pulsatile blood vessels were observed in annelids. This is also answered in the exam. In which group of animals the blood vessels were first observed? Arthropods, they have open type of blood circulatory system. Arthropods are what? Jointed insects, jointed leg organisms. Now cockroaches and all, they have open type of circulatory system. The blood does not flow through the blood vessels. It is directly flowing in the body cavity. Whereas in the higher chordates like mammals with four-chambered heart, here the blood flows in the blood vessels. That is why it is called as a closed type of circulatory system, where the heart pumps the blood and the blood flows through the blood vessels to all parts of the body. This is how the heart has developed. Let us now see what is blood pressure. You must have observed people going to doctor to get their BP checkup. Now it is measured with an instrument called sphygmomanometer. Now actually nowadays we have two types of sphygmomanometer. One is mercury one, which is on the top, and the bottom one is the digital one. The normal blood pressure is 120 by 80 mmHg. Now 120, the first reading is systolic pressure during contraction and the second reading is diastolic pressure during relaxation. If a person has high BP, he is said to have hypertension. Now when the person is suffering from hypertension, he is restless, he is very arrogant, and the rate of heartbeat increases. So he need to take rest and control his diet, and salty things he should avoid to maintain his blood pressure. Let us now see how does the blood clotting takes place. Whenever we have a cut or a wound, we observe that the blood flows for a few seconds and then it stops. A yellow color clot is formed which is called as serum. Now coagulation of blood takes place. Actually in the blood clotting, platelets are responsible. These platelets accumulate and clump at the point of injury and they releases or secretes an enzyme called as thrombokinase. Platelet secretes the enzyme called thrombokinase and this thrombokinase will convert the prothrombin into the thrombin. You can see with the arrow, and the thrombin converts the fibrinogen into fibrin and network of fibrin will form a clot at the place of injury. You remember now? The platelet secretes the enzyme called thrombokinase and thrombokinase converts prothrombin into thrombin and thrombin converts fibrinogen into fibrin. The blood clot is formed like this. There is a network of fibrin. So today we have covered lymphatic system, blood pressure, evolution of circulatory system and mechanism of blood clotting. Note down homework. Write a short note on lymphatic system. Draw the flow chart to explain the process of blood clotting. I hope you understood the concept and thank you very much for watching this video.